Letter from Ben Pickering as typed by Mary N. Dear Judge Simon, key facts. I want you to know that as the Portland police officers attacked me in May 2013, I called out, "Stop, I've had a traumatic brain injury, one wrong blow, and I could die." Even though the police reports say only Clunt and Juliano were involved, the other officers Bryson and Jackson took part in the beating, kicking my ribs and twisting my wrist. I had injuries to my sternum, elbow, left blind eye which oozed blood, my wrist, my knee, the spot where my head injury staples had just been taken out where he crushed me with his knee, my face where it was scrubbed across the floor. Officer Clunt admits in his report that he placed his knee on my head. He does not explain that he ground his knee into my head forcefully, as he said, "Why won't your head crack open?" I was called pussy, as in, don't be a pussy, you can handle it. They do not put that in the report either. Officer Clunt claims to have approached me from the left side. That is my blind side. If he had asked me about my blind side or my brain injury, I would have told him. Officer Juliano approached from my right side. That is the side with occasional hearing loss. The officers threw me into the furniture, nearly gouging out my good seeing eye on the protruding corner of a chair leg. They didn't put that in their report. I moved to get away from having my only seeing eye gouged out, which would have left me completely blind. Attending court has left me feeling wiped out. A couple nights after, I had a nightmare of my original accident. Walking out of that courtroom the day I gave testimony in your court was hard on me. My knees were shaking, and I wish I had a lot more time to talk. I was shaking so bad, even my hands. No one knows what it's like. I'm going through life. It's like, who do I trust? I've almost lost my life. If I'm running for help, I'm not going to tell them I need help, because they might call the cops, and the cops might come beat me up. Going in front of you guys brought forth the memory, and I was shaking. Who took the bigger loss? It's like I am the one being accused of the crime. Why would I resist arrest if I didn't do anything? I was not a criminal that stole $50,000, for example. Why would I resist arrest when I didn't do anything? I was unarmed. Your Honor, I was on the edge of my feet since I made a report to cops that I had been robbed at knife point. I was ripped off and they told me to keep off the street. I was there alone. The police didn't care that I got robbed. I returned to the scene of the crime and a worker said that they deleted the video. The cops asked her to delete the video. She said the cops had them delete the video of the police beating me at 8868 Nay Sandy, Ace Tavern. I went to the bar for water. I told the lady how I had been beat up, ripped off, maced, held at knife point. She called the police. What I mainly wanted to say is while I was in Portland, I was attacked and everybody failed to get me medical attention. Cops almost took my life. Who are you going to call? Why isn't there justice against the people who attacked me? I'm sure not going to call 911. Are they going to come beat me up? I was dehydrated and my money was stolen. I tried to report this to the police. They told me, "I think you are the one with the problem." I told them I am disabled. I called the police when I was robbed and sexually propositioned at knife point. The police didn't write a report and they blamed me. They said don't come back on the street anymore. Within a few days of this, I was beaten by the police. They didn't take my photo. They kept patting my bruised face. I wanted their badge numbers, and the guard at MCDC denied me an advocate. I couldn't read it, but due to his threats, I signed something I hadn't read. I asked how long the 4 cops had been working and for their badge numbers. He said, "If you don't sign it, I'll find a reason to lock you back up here." The guard at MCDC said, "You are probably one of those guys that are going to sue us." I told him, "I'm disabled. I usually have someone read things for me." I got released. I was looking up at some cop cars. I then got approached on the street by officers asking me why I was looking at the cop cars on the road. So, some people came up. One apologized for the clerk being rude to me. Some people asked me if I wanted to go to a hospital. I thought they meant to examine my injuries from the officers attacking me. But instead they took me to a place where I was told to strip and take some pills, otherwise they would shove some needles in me. I woke up covered by a towel, freaked out about why was I naked. We have Officer Stuart Palmiter on video saying, "The one who got in the scuffle with 4 cops." He admitted it on the phone. He told me to my face, "It isn't right what they did to you." He said, if it was me, I would have taken you to the hospital, not the jail. See https://www.youtube.com/watchquestionv=QWDUXOAM_T4. They brutalized me. I was hungry. I explained to her I was attacked on the way to the bar. I told her I had been mugged. Murderers and attackers attacking me. No one was reaching out and helping me like a community should. To be a stand-up citizen, let's give a reward. Where's the reward when they are beating the disabled? So next time I need help, don't tell anyone because they might call the cops and the cops will beat you up. What are you going to do? They might call the cops and the cops might beat you up. So where it lies is, I'm stuck here knowing there are criminals running around, and how do I feel about calling the cops when there are 4 criminals on your police force? And just to know, my conscience telling me, is this letter going to be heard? The people that have the authority are lacking to take up charges against the cops who beat me up for no reason. Does my conscience tell me to write a report on the people who mugged me at knife point, or report the officers who refused to take a report? I've always had an advocate. Should there be a lawsuit? Is there anybody who would want to take up a lawsuit? There are people crying BC, their loved ones are dead. Should I write a report for the officers who beat me and almost took my life? Do they get trained, or do you just give them a badge and let them go their merry way? They obviously knew I was disability when I called my sister in Washington after I was robbed. Why didn't he help me? Who do I blame? Does the city of Portland owe me for my pain and suffering? What do I get? If I ask for an apology, do I get an apology? Tell me if you are in the position of getting your head smashed into the floor and beat up as you are asking for a glass of water for hydration, and you have no money and you are cooling off from being attacked and it's hotter than hell outside. Tell me if it's fair to get beat up. The heat is very hard for my body and my brain, especially when I'm dehydrated and haven't eaten. So I'm confused at all the things that led up to the officer attacking me. They claimed they were following me in their reports prior to their attack. Why didn't they come up and ask me what was going on? Another thing, in the last 5 years of their arrests, in all the reports they have reported on people they have arrested, the reports in the last 5 years running concurrently. Are they lying? To find this information, run their reports and find out the way the officers are doing their jobs. Are they lying or what? I'm not even an officer, and in my case, I can see they are lying. I am trying to investigate the crime, and I can see that they are lying. Destroying evidence. They just write a report that sounds good. This is overwhelming me and this is exhausting me. All the attacks have exhausted me. Writing this letter. So far, there is no justice done, and criminals need to get justice.
So far.
Sincerely, by the 4 cops that beat me, Benjamin Harvey Pickering.